Hi there. Oops, my head's looking a bit all over the place as well today. Yes, I've been travelling and going from here to there and everywhere, and I feel a little bit away with the fairies this morning. But what are we doing? I'm here for a week, and then I'm off again. So I'm off to Norway next week. So I'm off to Norway next week. So I'll do a pre-record for next Monday, I think. And we'll be talking about declare play, as we are. Basically, declare play in suits. So good morning to all. I was away in Cornwall before, last week, with a nice UK event. We had a lovely time. We had, I mean, it wasn't great weather, but it was a lot warmer than the rest of the country. I think you were getting battered while we were in the double figures for the most part. A little bit of rain, but we got quite lucky with some weather, if I'm honest. A couple of the gardens were visited in dry weather. So yeah, brilliant, really. And Norway, I think next week. I just seen a post from the previous cruise. So there's lots of snow up there, but hopefully some fantastic northern lights. That's what we're hoping for. So we will see. Quite exciting, really. You're definitely going to need your thermals. If anybody's coming with me, thermals are definitely going to be required with your gloves and your hats. I've got my old Antarctica coat. I'll take that with me, I think. No, it should be fun. But obviously that's a week I'm away for. And then I come back for one more week, I think, of school, I think. And then it's the Easter holidays, and then I go off again. It's busy time, just this little patch, March, April, May. A little bit busy for me, and then get back to normal, back to more simple life. But we will see. We will see. So we've got declare play on Fridays. We are finishing protection. We're finishing protection, and most of that's going to be with examples. And then we've got our hand evaluation, not the hand evaluation. It is the suit combination that we'll look at. And we'll have our bidding quiz at the end, of course, and that's pretty much it. Then a bit of beginners, just one hand for beginners, but just we'll take our time with it, and seeing how you deal with competition, hopefully by ignoring it, but we'll see how that goes. So what else is on? Well, the UK, sorry, I've been telling you that all of the autumn's up. It's not up yet, so June is up. And I'm at Denham in June for the Thinking Defence, which should be some fun. And obviously you've got your March and April events up on the site. The autumn events will be up by tomorrow, I promise you. The Denham ones will be up, and Christmas and New Year will be up, as well as the Reboot. Reboot your conventions. What we're going to do that? Reboot your conventions. Sounds exciting. Something new for the new year next year. That is. So that's some time ahead. But we're going to try and put all of the events. Haven't got the very new hotels yet. I've still got someone working on that. But we're hopefully going to have quite a lot of things for you to pick and choose from. And of course the cruises. I am off to Germany in April. I think there's a little bit of space possibly left on that, but it's only a little bit of space. So if you wanted to have a go on that, you're better off going for the August, coming with me in August on the fjords, perhaps with my family then, in August. That's a nice cruise, that one. But there's still a little bit of time room on that Germany cruise. So if you fancy that, late booking, why not ring the office and have some fun. Tonight I'm playing on Into Bridge again. Tonight I'm going to play on Into Bridge. I've still got to find a partner. I may well play with, ask Stefan if he fancies again tonight, which would be quite fun, but I'll give him a ring. So I'm going to play on Into Bridge, which I am then going to record for next week while I'm in Norway. So Into Bridge tonight, remember that's 7:30, free of charge to you at the moment, so to all members, so please do join me for that. So that's for members of the BMB website, 7:30 tonight, Into Bridge. Easy to register, nice and quick. Come and join me and play against me. I hope you enjoyed watching that last Wednesday. Okay, well that's sort of that. So let's move on to this. Here's your little, I'm trying to remember what it is, suit combination. So this, on this one, really you're looking at your diamonds here. 3 no trumps, spade lead, and you've got to contemplate your diamonds. So as I say, it's 3 no trumps and it's a spade lead. So probably 2 no trumps. I think Stayman's best, but it might go 2N, 3N. 2N, 3N, but the 10 of spades is led. And you've got a decision to be made about the way you play the diamond suit. So what do you think? And we'll come back to that, of course. We will revisit that, as it were, in a moment. So I've just got to remember exactly what I'm doing here. Just got to change a couple of things there while I'm at it. So bear with me. Boom. Boom, boom, lots of clicking going on. And then we're going to go to our PowerPoint, aren't we? Which I've got to find. There we go. So, of course, what we're doing is we are so we're going to plan our play with attitude. This is what we're doing throughout the week, throughout the month, okay? And so aim, as we know, playing duplicate budget isn't always simple, and we'll see that with the thing, okay? But essentially it's how many tricks you need, but quite often playing duplicate budget, looking for as many as possible. Top tricks, short tricks off the top. Increase your tricks, methods of establishment. There's a lot of them in suit contracts. Worry about the defense. We focused on that last week, very much focusing on the losers, okay? And that allows you sometimes to pinpoint the right play, okay? So it's not like no trumps where you worry about stoppers. In suit contracts, you worry about your losers. You tend to focus on one master hand there. But what we're going to look at today particularly is the execution of the contract rather than the rest, and that's all about when you draw trumps, how you get from hand to hand, etc. Okay, so let's look at an example hand. I'm going to show you it here to start with. I will then have to go to Q plus perhaps to finish it off, but we'll hopefully make our plan here. Okay, so you end up in 4 hearts. Actually, it's quite aggressive bidding. You know, the losing trick count might not get you there, but let's see how we get on. The Jack of Spades is led and you are in 4 hearts. What do you think? What is your plan? Do you think in 4 hearts? So have a little think about that. Okay. Have a little think about how, and what I want you to do essentially is to go through the hand. And that's the key here, to go through the hand. So 6 top tricks: ace, king, queen of spades, ace, king of hearts, ace of clubs. Your extra tricks, well, you're going to get some from trumps. So what do I mean by that? Well, I hope that the 4th round of trumps is going to be a winner. If trumps break 4-1, I think we're going to struggle here. Okay, I think that's reasonable. So you're going to make the 4th round of trumps, but also hopefully a ruff as well. Because remember, the lovely thing about a 4-4 fit is that if you check a ruff in either hand, you gain a trick. So I think there's going to be 2 relatively okay ones from hearts there. Clearly there's something from diamonds. There's a possibility in spades as well. A possibility in spades. Okay, so where are your losers? Well, you got to, I mean, if you've got equal length in trumps, I usually choose the stronger hand because it's just easier to work out. So let's use the west hand here. Don't appear to be any losers in spades. Clearly there's 1 in hearts. There could be more, but as we've sort of discussed, I think we're going to focus here on on a 3-2 break, a 4-1 break will just get depressed. Okay, but there's clearly trumps. There's the ace of diamonds and 2 in clubs, and that is the tricky bit here. Okay, there's 2 losers in clubs. I don't think we can lose. We've got to lose the ace of diamonds, and clearly we've got to lose the 3rd round of trumps. You can't just hope it disappears. So our only chance here is to get rid of the club losers. Okay, so that's got to be the plan. So again, in a way, the focus is given to you. Okay, so what can be done about those club losers? Well, in a beautiful world, the spades will break 3-3 and you could discard 1 on the spades. Okay, but I think the better chance is probably hoping perhaps that the ace of diamonds is, we've got to discard a club. We've got to discard it on spades and diamonds. And the key to this hand is the execution phase. First and foremost, there's only 2 aces in dummy. There's only 2 easy entries to dummy. Okay, so and as someone said, I think Ruben said there in the commentary, you know, a club switch is what we're worried about. So if the opponents get the lead too early, they might develop their 2 club tricks before we can discard them. So I think we're going to need to lead diamonds. We might need to do it very urgently, and this is the classic hand where really perhaps you're going to need to win the ace of spades, which doesn't look like a natural play. The normal play is surely, I mean, I think a lot of people would let the spade run to the king, maybe play the king and ace of hearts off, and then play a diamond. The problem there is that to get back to dummy, you'd have to play a spade, and it's just possible that they can ruff the 2nd spade. It will be with a trump winner, but it'll give them the chance to knock out clubs. So the ideal scenario, I think, here is leaping up your ace of spades, playing a diamond towards the king queen. Hopefully that wins. Play the king and ace of hearts, and then hopefully you know, doing it again. So let me show you what I mean anyway. Let's go here. Sorry if you might need to change the level of skin, but my job here would be to win the ace of spades. Okay, I'm going to win it straight away. Play a diamond, hoping that clearly if North's got the ace, I'm afraid that's it. It's all over. Okay, I make my diamond trick, but I don't get a discard. But we're hoping that it's south. Now we play the king and ace of hearts off. Okay, we're going to leave a master trump out. Remember, we're hoping trumps divide 3-2, which they do, and we can now lead another diamond, and south is stuck, as it were. Okay, and the key is we've used our 2 entries. He actually takes the trump, but that's fine. That's what we expected to happen. He switches to clubs, but obviously we can win the king of diamonds there and throw the club away. Okay, there's no, you know, clearly spades could. We haven't given ourselves a chance in spades. It's true, but spades breaking 3-3 is much less a chance, as it were. And of course they've led the suit, which perhaps makes it even less so. Okay, so in a way it's a relatively straightforward hand. You end up losing 3 tricks rather than 4. You don't lose the 2 club tricks. If they'd led a club, of course, you'd be stymied. What you'd have to do is hope that south, maybe the clubs broke 5-2. So you would duck the 1st club, win the 2nd, and hope that a north with 5 clubs never got the lead again, as it were. But on this occasion, they haven't led a club, so you've got a bit of time. As it happens, I've given you a 4-2 spade break here, but imagine the spades break 5-1. If you don't win the ace of spades, you won't get the chance here to lead to diamonds twice. Because if south has a singleton, your ace won't be the entry that you wanted it to be. Okay, now, you get lucky here because the spades break 4-2. But obviously there's the chance that north was leading from jack 10, 9, 8, 7. So the focus on that one, I'm just going to go back there, is very much on the execution phase, working out you need to lead diamonds twice, but you need to do it early. So I mean, there's the full layout just on this picture as well. Okay, nothing South can do, of course. He's done his best. He's ducked the first diamond, and on the second round, of course, he's given in and played the ace because he can see there's a doubleton in dummy. But we have the entry to use both of our diamonds, the second one for the club discard, which is lovely. Could you try for both? As I say, the problem with trying, so by winning the first spade in hand and playing maybe the king and ace of hearts, then playing a diamond. Now, if it happened to work, you would feel, oh, well, yeah, but I can test the spades as well. The problem is, particularly here, if you play the king, queen of spades, and then a spade to the ace, hoping to find their 3-3, South can ruff, and he switches to clubs. Okay. Now, as I've noted already, the ruff would be with a trump winner, but the point is it stops you getting to dummy. Okay, so you can't always have the best of both worlds. I'd love to be able to test spades to be 3-3 and play for the diamonds. Okay, clearly if the diamonds had failed, so if North had had the ace and played it, then I could still have tested 3-3. Okay, but the chances are it wasn't going to work. Okay. Okay, so let's look at this next hand and have a go on this one. So again, we're in 4 hearts. We're in 4 hearts again. And I'm going to give you two leads here for fun. Why not? Let's have 2 leads. We'll have the queen of clubs and the king of diamonds. So you're going to have a think about both of those. Okay, so I'll show you that again. The queen of clubs lead and the king of diamonds lead. Okay, so that's tricky, isn't it? When you get 2 leads, it's bad enough when you only get 1. Okay, so nice hand, nice place to be. And make your plan. So again, you're counting your top tricks first, then looking to make extra tricks. And let's see where we get to. So again, it's annoying when there's not many top tricks. I like to have a lot more than 4, but obviously we're very, very quickly going to be able to expand on that. You're going to make 4 more trumps, aren't you? Okay, so I count 0 top tricks in hearts, but I'm going to add 4 on in the addition phase. Okay, and your spades are rather powerful as well. You're expecting to make at least 3 spade tricks. Okay, at least 3 spade tricks. So you've already counted 1 of them, but there'll be 2 extra ones coming, so that takes you to 10 already. Okay, obviously you've also got to think about the losing phase. So I've skipped to the execution there, but let's have a quick look. Unfortunately, in the losers phase, there, clearly the ace of hearts, you could lose the king of spades, and then there's 2 diamond losers, and that's the crucial element. Now remember, we had 2 different leads. Okay, the queen of clubs and the king of diamonds. Does that make any difference to your plan? So would you make a different plan on the queen of club lead to the king of diamonds? What do you think? So the question is absolutely, when do you play your spades? And I'm not sure it does. However, as Alan points out, you may choose to duck the first lead on a diamond lead, not on a club lead, of course, because the clubs you've got ace and king. Okay, so you may choose to duck a diamond lead, but I think that as we get to the execution phase, that we are going to play the spades before the trumps. And that's in both contracts. So both leads, I should say. Now, you've got more time in clubs, but the problem you have in clubs is that if you knock out the ace of hearts first, they can switch to diamonds. And if they do switch to diamonds, well then you've still got the possibility of losing a spade trick. Whereas if you play spades first, let's say it loses, then they switch to diamonds, you can discard one of those diamonds, or you can hopefully discard one of those diamonds. Can you see the idea? So I think that whichever lead you get, you are going to try and play spades first. So you're going to take a risk, but it's a worthwhile risk. So with a diamond contract, you're hoping the spade finesse works, of course. So with a diamond lead, you're hoping the spade finesse works, and you're hopefully going to discard a diamond before they win the ace of hearts. With a club lead, you're going to take the spade finesse, and you're hopeful of still making the contract if the spade finesse doesn't work. So you're doing it for slightly different reasons. One of them, you're doing it, you're hoping that the spade finesse works, because you feel that after a diamond lead, you've been exposed to all 4 losers, haven't you? Okay, you're exposed to your diamond losers, the ace of hearts, and if the spade finesse works, fails as well. Okay, but what you want to do is be able to discard one of your diamond losers if the spade finesse works. Okay, so I think we're going to be playing spades early with both hands. So let me just take you to the table in Q+, just so that we can clarify that. So let's look at the first example. We're in 4 hearts, and we get the lead of the queen of clubs. Okay, so we're in the queen of clubs here. If I just played on trumps, so let's just see, let's say I win the king of clubs and played trumps, which looks normal, and then established. The problem might happen, well, let's say I carry on drawing trumps. Okay, I expected them to go up there, but they do switch to the king of diamonds here. And now this is a little bit annoying, because if the spade finesse fails, I think I'm going down. Can you see the problem? So I think if the spade finesse fails, I'm going to go down here. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back here, because I'm worried about the spade finesse failing. So I'm going to win the ace of clubs. Again, doing the anti-intuitive thing, winning in the hand with the longer clubs. It doesn't look, the natural thing looks to play the king of clubs. Then I'm going to take a spade finesse here. Okay, it fails. However, my diamonds aren't exposed. So they play a diamond. Okay. Now clearly I can't play a heart here yet. Okay. So I'm going to play a trump. Sorry, a spade. And I'm going to try and discard a diamond there. Okay, there's nothing really to be lost here in discarding the other diamond. Okay, because I mean, you know, you might as well. But you expect them to ruff, but it's not unreasonable. So you'll over ruff there. Okay, and clearly you'll just lose the diamond trick you expected to lose there. Okay, but you've only going to lose one. Of course, make sure you ruff high there just in case. And then draw the last trump. So you claim your 10 tricks there. And as you can see, the king of spades is wrong, but if you look at the north hand, I don't see many of us leading a diamond from that. Clearly I can choose what the opponents have, as it were. Okay, so normal club lead, we've taken the spade finesse early so that we can discard a diamond loser. If we play trumps first, South can win, switch to diamonds, and you will go down. So you're using the execution phase here. Okay, so you're saying I've got to get rid of those losers, but I need to get rid of them quickly. Okay, so let me just look at this next hand. I'll just have to quickly do the bidding. It'll be 1 heart. I think North ends up doubling, but we'll just ignore that for this particular hand. Because I've changed the North hand, of course, because I want him to lead a diamond instead. So we're in 4 hearts, and the play starts, and they do lead a diamond. Now it is true that diamonds could break 6-1, but that's pretty unusual, and we'll use North's bid. He's doubled. So he could be, but he could be 5 diamonds, 4 spades, and 3 clubs maybe. So it's possible he's got 5 diamonds here. And it doesn't seem particularly possible that he's got 6. So I think ducking is good here. And remember the reason you're ducking? You're ducking because if North has 5 and South has 2, it's just possible that South is not going to get that lead again. Okay. Or, you know, that South will get the lead, but North will not get the lead, and so South will not be able to lead a diamond. I have to say, on this particular auction, we've had a double for North, so I have a feeling that North is going to get the lead again anyway. But anyway, so we'll duck the first one, and then win the next. However, the key here is that most of the time the diamonds are 4-3, and in particular on this auction. Because of the double from North, I think North's favourite for that king of spades. Okay, not sure necessarily who's got the ace of hearts here, but North's made a double. So what I'm doing here is, if I play a heart first, if I play a trump now first, let's do the wrong thing. If I try and draw trumps, it turns out that South has the ace, and he does have another diamond. Okay. All right, so I've ended up losing 3 tricks. Yes, if the spade finesse works, I'm still making the contract, but I'm not making that over trick that I might desire. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm winning the second diamond. Let's just clarify that. And I'm going to take a spade finesse. And when it does work, I'm going to do it again, because greed is good, don't forget. So we take another spade finesse, and then we discard the diamond on the ace. So this is a greedy one. Okay, this is a greedy one where we are making as many tricks as possible. Okay, and as you can see, we can just draw the trumps now. They actually break 2-2, and the rest are ours. We can rough that club loser, can't we? Okay, so we end up making 11 tricks. Okay, so ironically, on the more aggressive diamond lead, you know, we're hoping the spade finesse is going to work. Remember though, as I say, with the double in that auction, we know that North will have one high card anyway. So, but imagine there hadn't been a double. In theory, South could have had the king of spades and the ace of trumps, and then our hope would be that diamonds were 5 and 2. So you duck the first diamond, take the spade finesse, it loses, but perhaps South hasn't got another diamond to play. Okay, so that was the reason why we were ducking a diamond, as it were. Okay, but the key here is the early spade finesse on both, one of which we're planning that we can make even if the spade finesse fails, and the other one where we're looking for an over trick if that finesse works. Okay, so it's tricky, and it's going back to that aim element, isn't it? You know, the aim where it's hard to know. So if you're simply aiming, so if you were playing teams bridge, there are safety plays involved. Let me just show you the hand. So that was the first one, and then there's the second one there. Yeah, so if you know you're aiming precisely for the contract, well, that makes your life a lot easier. You can play a little bit safer. However, on hands where 11 tricks is important, so when that spade finesse works, you need to have taken it early to make sure you've got rid of a diamond loser. Okay, so what's interesting about those two deals is that you're playing in the same way but for different reasons, one of which is for safety, the other one which is for greed, and both of those are equally as important. So hope you enjoyed those. Again, we're going to look for some examples coming up. We're focusing on declare play because it comes up all of the time. That's the beauty of a topic like this. It rather comes up all of the time. I've just got to get ourselves to bear in mind. I've got for some reason I've got north, south, and east hands on this one today, so it requires me to change the setup a little. So we're going to go to the suit combination. So let's look at it. Okay, so there we go. I'll just put an auction up there. I imagine it's going to go 2 no trumps for simplicity. So would you bid with 8 points? I don't think you're going to be going for a slam with a heart fit, so I've got sympathy with the direct 3 no trumps here. And what I mean by that is, when you're in the 28 to 30 point range, very often you'll make a similar number of tricks in your 4 forfeit as you will to your 3 no trumps. If I'd had a small doubleton and the king jack of spades was somewhere else, I think I'd still bid Stayman on that hand. But with a lots of points in the doubleton, I'm happy. I'm happy trying for the no trump game there. Bear in mind, it would have gone 3 clubs, 3 spades, 3 no trumps, would have still finished there. But when you're in the 28 to 30 point range. Okay, so you're in 3 no trumps. It's all about the diamonds. Everybody can see there's 8 tricks there. And you've got to decide how you're going to play the diamonds. Generally, with a suit like this, you're hoping that West has the ace of diamonds. It's relatively straightforward. What you're going to do is you're going to duck a diamond. And the reason you duck a diamond is just in case East has the singleton. What is key on a hand like this? So let's just have the lead here. What's key? Oh, got the wrong lead. Bear with me. I hadn't tested that. That's my bad. Okay. No, I've done that wrong as well. Bear with me. We'll get the right lead now. Okay, 10 of spades. There we go. You can imagine that West has got Queen Jack. And here, absolutely wouldn't cover, for exactly the same reason as we're going to. Someone's asking whether we would cover the Queen of Diamonds lead, and we definitely wouldn't. We definitely wouldn't, and it's going to be for the same reason as we're not going to play high on a diamond. So on the 10 of spades lead, you win the King of spades, let's say. Okay, and at this point, a lot of people might work out that they're going to duck a diamond, but they would feel the need perhaps to cross over to the south hand. But of course, if we're ducking a diamond, we're ducking a diamond. So it doesn't matter which hand I lead it from. So the crucial part of this hand is I'm going to win the King of spades and play a small diamond. If the Queen of diamonds was led, again, I would play small on at least the first round. Because of course, if West is leading from length, his partner could well have shortage and might have to play his ace early. Of course, the Queen of diamonds lead could be from the ace, Queen, Jack. So it's not the worst thing to do to cover. So here, I'm just going to win the King of spades and play a diamond. And to be honest, it's as simple as that. I'm only going to duck one. The next round, I will be leading up to the King. Okay, because otherwise you're sort of, giving up on things. Again, it could be safer if they led another spade. If you're looking simply to make an extra trick. But I think you can safely sort of come over and lead a diamond. If they led another spade, if you were in teams, perhaps the safest play is to duck another diamond from the north hand. I can see that. Okay, so if you were specifically looking for 9 tricks, that would be your play. Here though, my plan would have been to duck the first round and win the next one, and if necessary cross over and lead up to the King, because that gives you the best chance of making 10 tricks. Here we don't make an extra trick, of course. We're just going to make 9 tricks because West is sitting there, the Queen, Jack and 10 of diamonds. But the key is that we do make the King of diamonds, whereas if we led up to the King on the first round, let's just open up the hand here. Okay, there's the full hand there, you can see it. And it's just normal what East has chosen to play the ace. Has to play the ace, he's not chosen, he's played the ace of diamonds per force. Clearly, if you'd led a diamond to the King on the first round, West should play low, and East would beat your King with the ace, and you would be stuck. You would lose, you'd only make your 8 tricks that you counted off the top. So it's important when you're bearing suits to duck, but I think only 1 duck is enough here. As a safety play, as I say, if you're playing teams bridge, you could actually, assuming they continued spades, you could play another low diamond. Playing pairs, it's important that you duck the first one and then lead up to the King, hoping to make 2 extra tricks. That King of diamonds if West has the ace, and hopefully the last round of the suit. So that's what you would do. So I hope that's a relatively straightforward layout, but these kind of layouts come up all of the time, so getting used to the idea of just being able to duck from either hand. It looks normal to lead towards your king, but if you're not planning to play it at all, then clearly you can lead from either hand. Notice that in theory there is the chance that one of your opponents will do the wrong thing and play the ace, but really that could sort of happen from either hand. Okay, so that's what we've been talking about. We've been talking about declare play today. I hope you enjoyed that. We've got the bidding quiz coming up. On Friday, we've got the examples of the protection, so we're finishing off protection. I mean, that is I think that's our special offer, so you get that at half price if you fancy that. With regard to the charity events, we've still got the Hatch End one there, which is, I think, Suzanne's charity bridge event. I am going to list all of the Cafe Bridge events on our site. So I was chatting to Victor there, who gets involved with the Brian app, etc. And I'm planning to put the whole list of them up there so that you'll be able to pick and choose what you fancy. So hopefully, you know, because I think they're great events. They're great at raising money for charity. And in a sense, the old bridge drives used to have, and we're missing a little of that in the bridge world. We're missing a bit of the charity work, etc. So let's try and get that going again, and let's support these cafe bridges, which I think do a rather fine job. Okay, so we will be listing those eventually, so give us a bit of time to get those up, and then we'll have a whole list of them hopefully on our site. Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, so 1 heart from North, 1 no trump from your partner, 2 hearts. One heart, 1 no trump, 2 hearts, and it's your bid. What do you fancy? Okay, so have a little look at that. You can get the answer on the website or not. Okay, or not. You don't have to be a member, I say. But of course, it's best to be a member. Of course, it is. Just a quick thing. Yes, you could cover the Queen of Diamonds on the previous hand with the King because you can establish eventually, but it will be a bit too late because the first trick will go Queen, King, Ace, and they will then switch, won't they? So it'll go Queen, Diamonds, King, Ace. They'll switch to hearts, and I'm afraid to say it'll take you too long to establish your diamond trick there. So I think you should be ducking that first one. Okay, so you do get a late diamond trick, but as I say, if it goes Queen, King, Ace, they will switch, and it could get nasty for you. Okay, so I am going to say goodbye. I will hopefully see some of you on the Wednesdays, Wednesday and the Friday. Remember, I'm playing tonight on Into Bridge. If you fancy that, you can join me, play against me, or just watch me the week after. Next Monday, I am recording for you, so there will be a recording for you next Monday, but I'm not around next week. I'm on a ship. Okay, the Valletta. Looking forward to it. So let's finish with our little bit, and it is just a little bit of Begin Bridge. We didn't have any last night because it was nice and straightforward, I hope, the declare play, but here we're going to talk about back to competitive bidding. So let's have a look at what we've got, and I've just got 1 hand, and all I was talking about with competitive bidding is that what I want you to do is try to bid as normally as possible, because it gets very confusing for beginners when everybody starts bidding. You can't remember, are you the opener, are you the responder, which set of rules? It's really tricky. So all I want you to do is try to focus on your own 2 hands and imagine you're bidding together without the opponent's bidding. Okay, it's not easy. And quite often I'll say to people, why do we overcall? Why do we bid? Well, we do it because it disturbs the opponents. Okay, they have a set of rules and they find it more difficult to follow those rules once there's interference. So let's look at it and see if we can see both hands trying to bid naturally. So you're the opening bidder here. You've got 16 high card points, 16 high card points, so it's a nice hand. So you're going to make a plan. You're going to open one diamond, I hope, and your plan should be to rebid one no trump. Seems a reasonable plan. So you open a diamond and it goes pass. One heart from your partner. That sounds great. Okay, so I'm ready with my next bid, but then there's a little bit of annoyance because there's an interfering bid. So you've opened one diamond, it's gone pass, one heart, and then there's an interfering bid of one spade. So what does that mean? Well, what I want you to do ideally is ignore it. Now we will see that if the opponent's bid, there is one little extra thing you do need. You do need, because you're slightly worried about their suit. Now, if you look in your spades, you've got the ace there, which is a nice card to have. So what I'm going to do is bid exactly what I would have done before. One no trump. It's not going to change the meaning of it by any distance. We should have a high card in spades, and that's what we have. But essentially, we're bidding the same way as we would have done if that one spade hadn't been bid. And you're not going to go too far wrong if you bid that way. Now what's going to happen now is we're going to switch over. I'm going to look at the other hand. Okay, so let's do it. Here's your partner's hand. So let's pretend we're the partner. There was a one diamond opening bid and you responded one heart. Your opponent has bid one spade. Your partner bids one no trump. Your other opponent has now bid two spades. So just going to go through that again. It went one diamond and it went pass, and you've responded to your partner's bid one heart. Now what I want you to do is just focus on your and your partner's bids. And if you do that, you're going to understand what those bids mean. If you start getting distracted by these annoying opponents who have bid one spade and two spades, you'll perhaps get led astray and won't know what to do. So your partner opened a suit and rebid one no trump. Are you happy with what that means? It shows 15 to 17 points. You have 11 points. So you've got between 26 and 28. That is plenty for game. If we just focus on our bids, hopefully we understand we've got enough strength for game. Your partner should have a high card in spades, so that they can't just take all the spades. Because remember, if you're playing no trumps, you've got to be a bit worried about that. But assuming our partner has a balanced hand, we've got a balanced hand. We've got plenty of points for game. So I'm just going to bid game. Okay, does that make sense? So if you focus on your bidding, in fact, let me put the two hands together and clarify that. There's your two hands, and you can see you've got plenty of strength there. You're going to make 5 diamond tricks, 3 club tricks, 2 aces in the majors. So you're going to make a very comfortable 3 no trumps. It'd be very easy to bid it by yourself. And if you were playing mini bridge and you looked at both hands, again, it would be easy to choose 3 no trumps as your contract. And I've actually put the bidding up there without your opponent's bidding in. And it would be exactly the same. 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 no trump, 3 no trumps. Your opponents just got in the way, didn't they? 1 spade was bid by south and 2 spades by north. But it didn't make any difference to your auction. As I say, unfortunately, sometimes it will. I mean, I suppose the easiest way of explaining that is if West's ace of spades was perhaps the king of hearts instead. So if West's ace of spades was the king of hearts instead, you'd still have plenty of strength. But unfortunately, you'd have no strength in spades. And I think you know what the opponents are going to lead. When they both bid spades, they're likely to lead them. So in no trumps, if you didn't have that ace of spades in the West hand, you would have struggled. But for the most part, if you try to bid as naturally as possible, even when your opponents are bidding, you're going to get to the right contract. And that is exactly the case here. West has shown a nice strong balanced hand, 15 to 17, and East with 11 points was able to add his hand, to the opening hand as it were, and get to gain 2 balanced hands. Clearly you have a diamond fit, but no trumps scores much more than diamonds. So we much prefer to be in 3 no trumps. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. A nice and simple layout today, I hope, but just gradually talking about competitive bidding and trying to get you to bid as naturally as possible. I find it's one of the things that novices and beginners find the hardest, is coping with interference. Okay, hope you enjoyed that, and see you again soon.